Might get me in trouble. Oh, it says we're live now, but I'm not seeing the company. There they go. Everybody's rolling up now. Whoa! Let me go all the way back up to the top. First off, I will say hello, people, and welcome to Drone Therapy. Did you fly your DJI? Let me go back as far as I can here in the chat that I have, and I've got USA Drone Flyer Captain Joe America. He came in and said hi. We got Jody Drone Shots. Dusty East Coast Thrills. Chuck's in the house and he's talking. Yeah. Okay, as y'all saw, I pinned that up to the top. The Drone Advocacy Group or Advocacy Alliance. And it's just a way for you to connect. It's a way for you to voice your opinion. It's also a way for you to get information on connecting with your local senators, because that's who we got to pound on now. Is we've got to get that in their head that we need to stop this shit and get this little rider bill out of the way. Keep on going. Yeah, Chuck's telling everybody happy Juneteenth. Keep going, rolling. Trying to see if there we go. Akira Show, good to see you as well. DJI's band stopped flying it. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody here bought a new DJI product. I'm not going to say yet because we don't want to stop that. We don't want to give away that part of the show, right? Let's see if anybody else. Captain Joe, Kira Show, Leonard Oglesby. Glad to have you in the house as well, sir. Thank you for coming. John Flying Flynn Media, Artco Drone Solutions. Glad to have you both, gentlemen. Thank you for coming in and discussing this fun evening with us. Rolling. Hey, Mike Night Train FPV is here. As you can see, we've got another couple of FPV guys here. I don't really fly a whole lot of FPV, but that's just me. And Akira Show saying hello as well. Okay, so I don't know where Ron is, so somebody can go. There goes my GPS or my frames per second again. Someone's attacking my internet feed. No, not really. Anyway, hopefully it'll pick back up. But anyway, what I was going to say was we're going to talk tonight about a person who got a new DJI product. Has anybody here bought something new in the last 3 weeks from DJI?
I did.
Oh! Wait a minute, you fly FPV and only FPV, I thought. Don't tell me you're coming back to the light.
No, I just felt like I wanted something new, something to mess with.
Okay, so what did you buy?
Vada 2.
Ooh, plenty of Avata 2s. Everybody's got an Avata 2 now.
Yeah, that was my last.
What do you? Yeah, I think that's what all of us bought last. What do you think of the Avata 2, Gary?
Well, I am a FPV guy, so flying it in manual mode, it seems to have, like in the goggles when I'm flying it, it seems to have some jitters in it, and I don't know if that's like I've found online other people had the same issue. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I had that issue too. It was it was stuttering a lot even at close distances, but it kind of worked itself out. I don't know if it was due to Wi-Fi interference or whatnot, but I did experience that quite often and pretty bad in the beginning.
Sweet. So
But you're flying in the same area, Randy.
Yep, same area, same places.
It just happened to get better.
Yeah, and I've noticed with the Avata 2, the distance, the range is better, but as far as penetration, I don't think it's quite as good as the Avata 2
Not
or the
without
Avata
dinner in a
1.
movie first.
That's just my opinion.
Well, he said penetration. I just thought without dinner in a movie first, not going to happen. Anyhow, so you have how many times have you flown yours, Gary?
Three packs.
Oh wow, three packs.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your opinion, is the Avata 2 anything more than a Cinewhoop?
Uh, no, not really. I think that's all it was designed to be. I mean, the camera is, really, really good. I somehow only recorded in 1080, 60 FPS. I didn't even mess with it. I just went out and flew it the first time I got it. But Yeah, it's not a freestyle drone. It shouldn't be freestyle. I'm in an Avata group on Facebook, and there are dudes. They are crashing the shiznit out of these, and
Yeah.
like they're trying to say, "Hey, well, I'm trying to learn how to fly." It's like, man, you need to learn how to fly on something else if you're going to go full manual. And it just you got people posting videos of them out doing freestyle, flipping around and rolling and stuff, and it just I think it's
We,
a bad
we have a
bad.
question from the chat.
Yeah.
Are you both talking about full acro manual mode?
I only fly it in manual mode.
Amen, brother.
Ooh.
Same
And
here.
I agree with what Nemo's saying. It's not made to do flips. It will do flips, but it's severely underpowered. So if you think you're going to come anywhere near a carbon quad, you might as well move it on. It's perfect for flying low and near objects and cruising, get them low close up cinematic shots,
Yeah,
but not
like
an
you see
FPV.
people flying through all these buildings, like at the Mercedes Museum, and all this other shit, and flying through hockey rinks. Perfect,
Yeah, exactly. But you're out, you see some of these YouTubers out here making videos of like will the Avata freestyle, and they go out and they're doing all this stuff, and they have a lot of practice doing that. But these guys are sitting there, they're thinking, okay, well, I got the Avata 2. Now let me get the Remote 3. I'm going to go out and I'm going to fly FPV. And they go out and find out the hard way. It's not as easy as it looks.
No.
Hmm.
uh,
Well,
yeah. So it must be. Go
that's a
ahead.
good thing, John. It wasn't yours.
Oh wow, that's evil. Okay, let's see. Any more things? Well, what triggered you to go ahead and buy an Avata 2 again? Have you had interest in pursuing camera drones again? Maybe.
Well, there's a company in France. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like spelled Donecle, Donecle, and they actually have drones that do aircraft inspections. So
Oh yeah, yeah. You
they
mentioned
were
that.
going to bring it to where I work, and I was like, well, I got to study for my 107. I got to get my 107. If they bring it in, then I'll be able to go out and fly it whenever they needed to be flown. But that kind of fell through. So I was like, you know what? I got all these drones. They're just sitting here. They're collecting dust. I need something for like really good cinematic with a good camera, something I can fly, that'll fly pretty good, that's reliable. I mean, I've got tons of Cinewhoops, but the camera is what made me go out and get the Avata 2.
Mm.
And
So
you can't beat the convenience of having the charging hub, charge them all up overnight or whatnot, and just get up and go. In my
yeah,
opinion, the convenience is really nice.
You
I
need to.
mean, you got the little bag that you can carry it in and just pick it and go. Yeah,
Yep.
instead of a big old backpack full of controller and batteries and all that stuff. Yeah, it's nice.
Well, you're talking about YouTubers that create clickbait videos, right? Not all YouTubers in general. We
No,
need to.
I've seen people actually like I don't know who it is. Some guy, and he actually made it look really really good. He's like out in the field. He's doing power loops and like he flew it really well. I mean, and that I think that's awesome. But you got other people that go out and buy this, and they're thinking, all right, this is an FPV drone. I can do that if it's an FPV drone. And
Well, you need to go to Captain Joe America's channel because, as you can see right here, he has a new nickname. It's El Kabong. A pole jumped out and grabbed him when he was flying. Wasn't he? He was flying the Avata 2. Weren't you flying the Avata 2, Joe? I think he was. I think it was the Avata
Yeah,
2. And the pole
yeah, it
jumped
was
out
the
and grabbed
Avata
him.
too.
The pole just jumped out of nowhere and grabbed him. Went, poof. You can even see fingers come out and grab it.
I
Johnny
mean,
Drone Flyer, good to see you. Glad to have you in the house.
I was trying to tell Captain Joe if he was flying in manual mode, he probably would have had the power to get out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I don't know. It just depends because it just depends. on how we don't know what the view was on his
Yeah,
controller screen at that point in time.
I'm just
He may.
I'm just pulling his leg.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I was just. But I see
No,
your point though that you may have had a little bit more throttle in manual mode.
that's one
Uh,
of the main reasons I like flying in manual mode because normal and sport mode, uh, being that it's slowed down to 30 and 6 or 30 miles per hour, that means you have like half the power you would have to go up vertically in all directions than you would in manual mode.
Good to see you, Lambo.
I just don't feel safe flying in normal and sport.
Okay, but what? I mean, so you just got it because it had a better camera, Gary? I mean, that's the only reason you bought it? Uh-oh, you've disconnected again. I'm sorry, I can't read lips. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm trying.
Sorry. I hit the mute button because I was vaping.
Oh,
What was the question?
is
Oh,
the
why did?
camera the only thing?
Well, the platform. I mean, it's like. I mean, DJI is like, as far as the aerial, the GPS drones, all those. That's the standard to me anyway.
Yeah.
So get something like that. That it's a little more. I don't know. I actually wanted to see the '04 transmission and see how it was, and man, it's all right.
Yeah, what did you tell me you compared it to? You said it was like when you first saw it, what did you say? You're like, to be honest with you, it looks just like.
The walk snail, it looks just like it.
But maybe if you didn't have all that radio interference, you wouldn't think so. But there's no way of knowing yet because you haven't gotten to the process of fixing what that may be. I think it's odd though that suddenly, Randy, your problem just disappeared.
Yeah, and I will say one thing. I've noticed I have the Air 3 that has O4 as well, and the transmission on the Air 3 it seems twice as good as the Avata 2, in just my opinion.
Well, we're going to go there in a little bit. Let's get through the because we're trying not to go into the heavy subject. But Gary and I were talking, and we did see light at the end of the tunnel. What did I say it was going to be? It was a nut hair's chance, but it's a chance. So we did realize suddenly that there is a chance. Let's see. I'm gonna roll on up and catch up here. Hey, what's up? Glad to see you in the house. Big orange drone flyer, Zach. Good to have you. Let's see. Where else am I going? Oh, I heard. Did Braden say something about the show? He's like, my dad's on his show live stream, and they're a bunch of old guys talking about drones.
He always does. He tells his little buddies that, hey, my dad's got to go on this show about drones. They're like, your dad's got a show? He's like, no, he goes on the show and talks about drones all the time.
Yeah, it's like it's a bunch of old guys just talking about shit like we do when we talk about video games. And you're like, but they talk about video games sometimes too, but not really.
You're on.
Okay, so let me see. I'm a guy out in the field who does power loops and acro demo of the Avado 2. I think it's fun to test the limits. Oh,
And I quickly let Mr. Koopy know that it wasn't him. I haven't watched his video. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I swear to God.
This is a guy. I think he's Asian or Hispanic. He has a lot. When I put in, when you put on, when you like search in YouTube for Avada 2, like he's one of the first ones that comes up. He's really, really, and he,
You want
like
me
I
to talk
said,
about?
I don't know.
Um,
I'd have to see it.
Say maybe Potato Jet.
oh,
No.
oh.
No.
Coast.
Let me spell it out. C O A. Can y'all hear Braden in the background? It's like he's kind of giving us like every now and again little flights of commercial. But we can continue talking about the Avada 2, or we can talk about somebody here who is actually studying for their 107, but they've already dropped the clue as to why. So are you still seriously thinking about getting your 107, Gary? Or does all this bullshit make you leery?
that I'm not gonna lie, all this bullshit makes me leery, like big time. It's like why am I gonna go through all this stuff if they're gonna? I mean, what else are we gonna use if it's not DJI?
They'll find a
You
back
know,
door. In my
and
opinion, they're not
I
going to
think
leave.
you're right.
What?
I'd agree with
See,
that.
this is how they go find the back door, guys. Seriously. They
Money.
can't
Into
at this point. At this point, they got to do something to save face. Now, here's the thing: we did point out. Let me go. So, there's anybody new that I picked out? Hey, Dale. There's Dale. Cool to have. Just like got to see Dale. I'm trying to catch up here and see if there's anybody I've missed. Quick Cat. Good to see you, Quick Cat. Glad you're in the house. Rolling. Let's see. No art code. Okay, cool. So here we go. Um,
What is it?
I think it's going to happen. Like I said last week, I think it's about 18 months out, possibly because it is going over to the Senate now. And the one thing that may put a hindrance to it and make it at least go back to the House is the fact that they wrote in there that the FCC does not need congressional approval to retroactively remove those licenses. And that's why I think that there's if that goes through that way, everybody said before, oh, they'll never ban DJI. And made fun of me, made fun of Herman before when he was talking about it. Ha 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 ha. Now suddenly all the commercial pilots are coming out of the woodwork going, we need to save our drones. And I'm like, where the hell have you been? Hello, where the hell have you been? You laughed at us before, said, oh, they'll never take away our drones. And then, anyway, so, but I think that the linchpin is the fact that right now the Democrats have control of the Senate. The Republicans have control of the House. And I think that one little thing in there, I woke him up. I think that one little
run.
thing in there, is going to be maybe a linchpin, hopefully with the Democrats, and then that they're going to say, no, we still need congressional approval and throw it back to the House. What? Are you poking Ron in the head?
Yeah.
Poking Ron in the head?
Where's my hard hat at?
Well, I think that Vic's on the commercial side. I do not think he's on the hobby side. I never have. I've said that before. I'm not trying to say that it's anything against him because that's how he makes his living. I get that. But I don't think that he's on the hobby side. I never have. You know. Oh, and thank you for bringing that up. Or saying something about Warrens. I noticed that I think it was Randall on Bill's show last night.
Yes.
Okay, and he was actually saying he was kind of leaning into the wind and saying that potentially there was some issues with DJI that could be a security measure, and he was making reference and hinting at things of the range of, well, something over here is secret, and now because the drone's flying over there, it's no longer secret. And I'm like, look. After all the bullshit and chaos that has gone on with our representative democracy, I think it's about time that we get past all the bullshit because we're the ones whose money they spend and we're the ones who decide if they sit in that chair or not. They need to explain to us where the hell the money's going and why they got to take the drones out of the sky. It's that simple. It's not hard to do. But I'm tired of hearing that it's something above your intelligence level. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. I voted to put that guy in there, so I was smart enough to give him my vote, wasn't I? Otherwise, his intelligence wouldn't be there right now. So I was smart enough to put him there, you know? And I'm just, it's getting ridiculous now to where if they're going to take this away, they're going to take that away. And it's like they're just little nitpicking things. They're going to take our drones away. What's next? We're already hinting around and making jokes about our phones. But that can happen too. Everybody swore up and down they'd never take DJI drones out of the sky. Granted, like I said, it's going to take probably 18 more months. And the only thing that hopefully will send it back to the House, or the thing that I think that is the Democrats might notice is that without congressional approval. And I'm hoping that they'll say, no, it needs congressional approval, and then they throw it back. At least that much. What do you think, Ron?
Well, thank goodness DJI doesn't make smartphones.
Yeah, really, really. What else?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, but I don't know if they're going to throw it back because of the drone part of the bill. That I wonder if anybody in the Senate's ever even going to bring up the whole drone thing. Excuse me.
Well, the only reason that I think that, or I'm hoping, is because it says they're trying to remove congressional approval. They're trying to say that the FCC will be able to retroactively remove all of those licenses and just make all of those, items useless without any action from Congress. So to me, I can kind of see that. I'm hoping to God there's some little anal aid in there that goes, sir, did you see this? And I'm really hoping that he sees
Well, so far the FCC's been our friends. They've been approving every drone like it's nothing. Even this whole mess has been going on for a year or two now about Congress doing something about DJI, but FCC's been rubber stamping every new DJI product like it's nothing. So far the FCC's been our friends.
But
I mean, will they do an about face all of a sudden and undo all the stuff they've been easily rubber stamping for the last couple 2-3 years under this cloud of imposing congressional action against DJI.
Okay, but the way we're all trying to look at it right now is that they're gonna let us keep everything we got now, and then they're going to ban everything in the future. Okay, what if DJI
That's
says,
what most people are telling us? Yeah.
What if DJI says, okay, we're not going to put any bad stuff in our new drones. Can we send them back over there? The whole point is what they're blaming right now is already in our hands. What they're saying is a security problem is already in our hands. They have no clue what DJI is going to make next week.
Keep on sending all our data back to the Chinese military with their older stuff.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm hearing everybody tell us, they're saying, oh, they'll keep making that older stuff and it'll stay on the shelves for years. And I'm like, but that's what they're accusing to be the problem. I'm like, they can't just leave it there, man. They can't just keep selling. Okay, do they actually sell, like, the Huawei phones up until the point that they got banned? Or there are no Huawei phones sold in the US?
I mean, Huawei in the smartphone was such a small, less than 1% of the U.S. cell phone industry. It didn't even matter that, really. So
well, the question,
they more or less made routers and stuff like that.
Remember, Gary, I was talking to you about this too. Homeland Security thinks that the public, the general citizen, is a security risk at having drones. And Gary, I gave you an example, and you were like, "Well, yeah, I could see that happening too," and I could see that exact thing happening. Just somebody wanting to play and do something stupid, but something really bad could happen.
I want to know when Huawei got banned, were all the Huawei phone owners still able to use their phones?
Wait a minute, what was he saying here? FCC recognizes that they had the ability to revoke the hardware and chose not to.
To answer Randy's question, maybe the Huawei ban was the same as this DJI ban. Maybe phones that were already, approved were fine.
I would assume so, because that's a pretty deep rabbit hole they're going to have to go down if they want to retroactively ban stuff that's already in the country and already approved. I don't see that happening, in my opinion.
Yeah, Randy, nobody's ever answered this question whether anything like that has ever happened before on any large scale like this.
Right.
Will this be the first time they've ever had a large scale retroactive? People hate when you say the word ban of the current DJI drones or whatever. I mean, has anything like that ever happened?
They're setting precedent.
Good to see you, bud.
Hey, bud, happy birthday, bud. It was Bud's birthday.
Happy birthday, bud. But the whole point is Okay, so what if they spend all this money and ban everything from this point on, but we keep all our shit? How are we securing shit? How are we securing anything? How
Maybe they'll make us all put in turn low data mode on.
Because it's not about security, in my opinion.
Right. That's my whole point. So they need to explain to us why.
It's just the
Enough is
easy
enough.
excuse.
Right. So because just like I said, and I was going bananas. And I've been, Koopy made fun of me. A bunch of other people made fun of me. Because as soon as they started talking about, and then Gary pointed out to me what I said. As soon as they started talking about remote ID, I was talking about they're going to kick us out of the skies, and that the corporate America was going to buy our skies, and it was just a limited amount of time before they took over everything. And Gary pointed out that I did not specify DJI drones. I specified all drones, which is true. But the majority of quality drones are not built in. What consumer drone can I buy in the U.S. now that's presently being built?
You got me, Bill. Maybe we should give a prize out for somebody who can name one.
Right. But in theory, what they're trying to say is they're going to use all this money that they're going to do to raise the prices up and make us, the consumer, pay to catch America up. That's the whole point. That's what they're wanting us to do. But the whole point is there's no guarantee all that money is going to go into R&D. We don't know how much of it's going to get split and go over here to this senator, and how much is going to go to this congressman, and how much is going to go to this senator or this congressperson. We don't know.
Oh yeah, it's not like some money's ever wound up in a politician's bank account before.
Exactly. So it could be that. And another thing, and I said this before, doesn't it seem so coincidental that when this became front page news to us, the drone community, that we heard all of these companies talking about how they were opening up more avenues of drone delivery. Like Amazon's been doing limited stuff. Now we're hearing FedEx has got their stuff approved. Amazon's going full bore with, delivery everywhere.
Walmart.
UPS is going to start doing drone deliveries. All this stuff. And it's all right on the heels of all this crap going on and saying that they're going to ban drones. And I'm just saying, boy, this is so coincidental. Ha ha ha.
And Bill, all these delivery drones do not have any Chinese parts in them. Is that correct?
Mm.
Well, that's one thing that we are pretty sure about. This particular bill, the banning of the CCP, does not have that particular thing in it. It's the Drones for First Responders Act that has the heavy tariffs and all that stuff.
The bill with that nice name to it.
But if this goes through and they end up on the the list,
covered list,
the covered list, that's it, right? Is that it or not it? So FCC could still give us the right to fly. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, so
I think
far,
that's what Koopy was saying.
I
think that's what Koopy was saying. Was that if they could still that the FCC would decide whether or not we had access. So apparently it was a similar situation with.
They're governed by the the Congress and the Senate, so they would have to I guess heed any bill that was passed all the way through, not just one place. So any bill signed by the president, they would have to honor.
Well, I think
But I mean, up until the hour before that's signed, will they keep approving DJI drones?
Yeah, that's a good question. But I think what he was saying was
it could be 1, 2, 3 years before this thing actually makes it to the president's desk.
Well, what John was saying, I'm not 100% sure. It may have been a similar situation with the banning of Huawei, where the FCC had the right to revoke everything right then, but decided not to. I think that's what he was talking about earlier. He said it may be the exact same thing, that they're given that ability, but they decide not to. And was it the same reason? Was they were saying that the phones were a security risk? Because I never owned one of the phones. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, the Huawei one, they tore Huawei routers apart and found mysterious parts of those routers that didn't belong in there.
Ah, okay.
And
I get
that's
what you're
why
talking.
their router switches, all that stuff, was I hate to use the word banned, but we'll just say everybody likes the word banned, so we'll say that now. But like somebody says, there's still plenty of Huawei equipment in use all over the U.S.
Ah,
So
okay.
when is banned? When is a ban a complete ban, or what? When is it's 100% ban or a partial ban, or who but a lawyer knows?
I don't know, Ron. You just made a funny. You made him laugh really hard.
Well, quick cat, no charge for that.
Oh yeah, it's not going to take 2 years for it to be signed. No. The whole point is,
Well,
is, is
you guys forget though. What about what TikTok already has a lawsuit going? What about when DJI takes us to court? You don't know how slow these things come to court or whatever. So don't think there won't be a legal challenge to it.
okay. So John's saying that it won't take because it's 2025. It won't take effect. That when it actually goes into effect, I guess January or whatever, plus 180 days is when it would go on the covered list.
Right.
So I said like 18 months.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I
again,
said.
and this is all without a legal challenge,
Wait a minute.
which we know is coming.
See this? Everybody's trying to compare, like he was making reference to. Yeah, there we go. Medical marijuana delivery. Gary was talking about guns compared to. Oh, you said there was like a meme, right? That showed the gun owner
Yeah.
talking to the drone owner, saying, oh, is it just starting for you or something like that? Oh, he's saying 180 days is the max. Uh,
What's the video? What's the movie with the Ballad of Buster Scruggs? It starts
Yeah.
off with that,
Yeah.
and then the guy's getting hung, and he keeps like coming, like he doesn't die, and he like there's a meme where he's hanging by the rope, and he looks over at somebody, and it says, "Gun owners or DJ drone owners getting banned," and then it said, "Gun owners first time question mark." I'll have to find it.
we're no, we're not trying to say that. We're trying to hope that one little bad tooth gets pulled. We're not talking about anything stopping about people getting paid. Don't confuse any of that, people. We're just talking about that one little rider that they snuck in
It's
there.
just in there.
Yeah, that they snuck in, and that's notorious. Our government does that constantly. It's not
Yeah.
anything new, but it really affects a minute few of us. But
Yeah, and they always slip it in a bill that's for sure going to pass. It's just a matter of
exactly,
what the particular.
exactly.
But this bill will get passed and signed.
So the only thing that we could hope for is that they'll like pull this little ingrown toenail out, and go, we need to discuss this more, and then send the rest of it back. That's the only. I can't think of another thing that we got to
Yeah,
lean
I
on.
mean, let me see. Captain Ray emailed one of his senators, Chuck Schumer, who's of course the head of the Senate, and he wrote back that there will be changes to this bill. There will be things taken out. Schumer never mentioned the drone part of it, but he said there will be changes to it once it gets to the
Well,
Senate.
we figured that. We know it's going to be like ping pong, that they'll smack it back and forth a couple of times. But
Yeah.
just like Tom was saying, just like everybody else, like Tom was saying, it will get approved. It has to get
Yeah,
approved.
yeah, yeah.
It's not one of those things that can just go on indefinitely and the two of them fight about it. It needs to get done.
I sure wish they had put this drone thing in one of those bills, the kind of bill that doesn't get off and get passed. Like maybe a minimum raise bill or raising health care or whatever. Why don't they slip it in those bills that never get passed?
I heard that somebody spilled coffee on the drone bill and it got stuck to the back of this. And then that's how it happened. And then the minute they found out it was in there, they went, "Hot damn! That's how we'll get it through."
It was Stefanik's little crony from Skydio. He's probably the
Stuck it
reason he
on
got
there.
it
Yeah, yeah,
in.
yeah. He had like a vanilla latte frappuccino. You know those things are real sticky.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know. The whole point is it seems like DJI is not that interested in really being combative about it.
But
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
read
yeah.
Bill. But you know what? Randall Warner's brought up last night in Bill's show. He was
What?
saying that if this happens here in the U.S., it is going to spread to other countries. So say
Yeah.
DJI can survive without the U.S., but what if he said it could go to Canada,
Canada,
Great
they expect it to
Britain, the
happen in Canada.
EU, and then all of a sudden DJI is in a bad way.
Did
Not
those countries ban Huawei also?
I do not know.
Yeah, I don't know. We would need.
But I know
I'm
the
gonna get that.
Australian drone users, they all have videos, many of them saying that they're worried about this because Australian, they tend to copy the US drone laws.
Yeah.
Oh, that's possible too. I didn't think about. Oh, Randy, you didn't even mention that. But I was like, oh yeah, yeah. I realized I was like, oh, Randy, you typed that in there. Hey.
Yeah, I do believe that. I do believe the U.S. government had a hand in Skydio's departure from the consumer market.
And that's why Skydio got out of it too.
Yeah, because the U.S. government does not like us using the same tech that they
See,
have.
this is what we're talking about. See what he's like. This is it in black and white. The biggest thing that we do not know for sure is, and the difference is we weren't China crazy with Huawei as we are completely China batshit crazy now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a damn good chance that they could go ahead, the FCC, from pressure from whoever's in the White House to go ahead and do it. So there's no guarantee. So we've got
Yeah. I mean, both parties are having anti-China kind of stance going on.
exactly, and then they can both
the party's
stand.
not really that important in this issue.
They can both stand on their little box and go, "We got here together."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, now you do now.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's gonna. What are we going to talk about on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays? It'd be like the old hee haw. What was it when they had the gloom, despair, and agony on me?
Oh,
We need to make a video. Gloom, despair, and agony on me.
Dom
They
said
banned my drone today.
Dom said Australia did ban Huawei.
Okay. There we go.
So you
They did follow the U.S. on that.
Yeah, so that's not looking good.
Well, but you said they were they barely had a market anyway.
Well, and smartphones, where that smartphones is not even a big thing, and they mostly make routers and things like that.
About all this,
Right.
the thing that sucks about all this, the thing that absolutely blows about all this, is DJI makes the best drones on the planet, and because of these greedy assholes.
Oh my god.
They're just going to go, we don't want you anymore. It's almost like, what was it? We heard about the hydrogen carburetor, but did it ever come to fruition? No. But it's out there, I'm pretty sure, but we don't see it. We don't know where it's at because all the big automotive people buy all that tech before it ever gets to where we can see it.
And the guy that created it got knocked off.
Did he? Oh.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what you're saying, Bill, is what if back in the 70s, U.S. would have somehow banned Toyota because, they were making better, cheaper cars than U.S. manufacturers, and there would be no Toyota. Well, without the U.S. market, they probably wouldn't be as big as they were.
Ron. You see this?
Yeah.
Wait. You got to see John's reply. Okay, I'm not denying that Skydio has not had a heavy hand involved in this. But look, come on, let's get real. Amazon, FedEx, UPS, that was the heavy hand that has brought this around.
Right.
It wasn't Skydio. Skydio was the head of the pimple, maybe, but that was not the stuff that flies out everywhere afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty just gets a lot of blame because one of the guys that, again, the Stefanik crony, he's either a former or current Skydio employee or board member or something like that. He has the rave verbiage. He's the one whispering the ear about all the CCPs getting all the data.
Yeah, but the whole that's what I'm saying. And I heard Randall trying to defend that by saying, "Hey, maybe it's because they've got something super 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 secret over here,
Where?
and a drone." And I'm sitting here thinking,
Where?
so if my drone that can fly 400 feet in the air that cost me $1,200 gets you good photos of this thing, then you've got this $4 billion satellite
Well,
with
I don't know where he is.
top of the line technology and
I got
camera
no
gear
cards.
can't get. Please explain to me what software you're using.
Right.
Because that's what I'm saying. I'm hearing all these people, and I can see in Randall's position where he would have to leave the door open because he wants to potentially keep his product coming into the U.S. He has to do that. I guess what's really burning me about this whole situation is how we've seen all these 107 pilots making these videos talking about how much they need your support now. And I'm sitting here, and I mean, how many people on this panel, when they started talking about remote ID, and we found out that people were going to know where you were and possibly what you were flying, and that would be, we were all thinking that's going to leave you exposed with your gear and stuff. How many people on this panel, we'll just say blankly, thought that was a safety issue?
Yeah,
Everybody?
Honestly,
almost everybody thought
I didn't bat an eyelash at it.
was an issue.
Yeah, me neither. It didn't bother me at all.
What do you
No.
mean
I
it didn't
knew
bother?
because I was only flying FPV. I didn't really.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to stop me.
But now, do you fly something that weighs over 250 grams?
Uh, Anybody got a scale?
Divided two weighs like 400.
Yeah, well, it is over. Yeah, it's over 250 grams.
That's what I'm
No,
trying to
not
say.
not this one. This one right here is 248 grams with the battery. Believe it
Oh,
or
you
not.
got it. You got it down. Okay.
Yeah, I done some lightning. Made some holes in it and stuff. So this
Yeah,
one
you got
is
a drone diet there.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And he's
Yeah,
like,
but Bill, I know where you're going with this, but somebody made a point in the show just this week though. Since they added remote ID, nobody knew of any case that the FAA ever showed up and whatever challenged anybody on remote ID that maybe some
we
Karen
weren't
showed up, but
talking. We were
nobody from
talking
the
about
government
the
ever showed up
thugs.
to do anything about remote ID, saying, "Oh, you're doing this with your drone or whatever." It hasn't happened as far as law enforcement.
Right. But to me, the safety issue was if you were flying your drone and you were keeping a line of sight with your drone, and somebody had one of those little apps that said you were flying, a Mavic 3 Pro, and you got clubbed over the head and they took your stuff. That's what I thought was the issue.
Right.
Because remember they were talking about that there was going to be apps. We were all talking about the apps that were going to be able to track you, tell what your position was, basically give your identification and everything that you were. The stuff that we were saying that the only people that needed to have it were first responders.
Yes. Yes.
That kind of stuff.
Right.
Position, what drone, who you are, all that shit. What, do you limp on the right leg, all this kind of bullshit.
I can see how that would be an issue for some people, but in my area personally, like 90% of people I talk to don't even know what DJI is, let alone remote ID.
Yeah, so we're going right back to the area where it's not going to be something that people are going to get voted out of office for.
Let alone do they have an app on their phone that can track drones?
Right.
Wait a minute,
right.
I've let y'all start talking. I've left chat hanging. I need to get back over here.
And remember, half the people in the U.S. are on iPhones, and those apps don't work on iPhones.
Yeah. I don't see anybody really using that to track anybody unless you're in the hobby and you have a neighbor that's been messing with you and you know about it. I don't see it being an issue.
Right.
Hey, do those apps work on that one that's banned? That phone that was banned?
The Huawei phone?
Yeah, those apps work on that.
Yeah, they banned the Karen app from the banned phone.
Look, my hat is banned. This was a gift from a friend, so I have to wear it.
It doesn't have an
Wait a minute,
FCC clearance.
what's Caleb saying? I don't even think Amazon lobbying that gain for hardware chips. Wait a minute, there are other companies lobbying that gain from hardware. I don't understand. Okay, I get what you're
There's
saying,
other companies besides the ones we mentioned that.
but I'm trying to figure out. So I'm lost. That's why they're kicking us out of the sky is to get chips and hardware. Oh, but it's not. It's not going to be government subsidized. We're the ones who are fucking going to pay for it.
with
It's
our
going to
tariffs.
be. Yeah, they're going to make us pay for it. Like that. It's bullshit.
Of course,
That's
who made the point? Well, if they don't let any new DJI drones being sold, where are they going to get this tariff money from?
Caleb's saying something else. There's open source firmwares to control all of that in our drones. For some reason, no one has made it a pretty app yet, though. Oh, so you're saying we could erase our drones and put
Open
some
source.
other? That's possible. That would be kind of cool, actually. That'd
Well,
be
I
really
guess,
cool.
I guess you could think, any drone that has an SDK.
Oh, wouldn't that piss DJI off? Would that not piss DJI off? Hey, we like your shit, but we're just going to rewrite all the software.
Yeah. Well, Bill, back to somebody like not Randall in particular, but Randall thinks he's going to be able to get by all these rules with what he's doing there. He's only doing an enterprise drone, but if he's successful in getting around all these rules with his made in Malaysia drone, why won't we see all DJI's new future drones come under some different name made in Malaysia?
No, don't you
We
remember what
will.
she said? None of their shell corporations were going to find their way through.
Well, Randall defined what a shell corporation is, and what he's doing is not a shell corporation, according to him.
I was going to say
Right, the
that's
law.
not the United States government.
The
You can
law is
define
the
it how
law.
you can define it however you want to, but we're about to find out. They're going to slam the damn door and say,
Well, of course, who has the better, lawyer or whatever is how you're going to define, if something's a shell company or not.
Here's the thing. If I was DJI or any of you all, if you were DJI, wouldn't you already have filed stuff? I mean, I get that it's the whole point is defamation of character, something, you know.
They don't want to do anything to bring any more heat on them. I think.
Until the fat lady sung, then
Right.
they'll go full board. But us as drone users, we can all get together and file a class action suit also. What about everybody has a DJI drone in the U.S.? We enter into a big class action suit against the we'll say the government. The kind of class action suits where you win, you get $5.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how much money we get as long as they win the case.
Well, see, okay, and Tom's bringing up what we're talking about. He's like, yes, I watched Shark Tank, but did she not infer, because that people hinted to her about that exact company and her, and basically, but here's the thing about it is, I get that maybe she didn't understand the exact definition of what a shell corporation was, but she made it clear that DJI wasn't going to send their stuff in under another, because I mean, even if, what was it, we don't know, there's no guarantee that there's not some chip somewhere in all of that stuff that doesn't do the same exact thing outside of the firmware that who is it, Aloft is installing on those drones.
Yeah. Well, if Stefan knows as much about shell companies as does DJI drones, that means he doesn't know much about shell companies.
Yeah.
Randy's going to do an unboxing for us.
No, he's looking for made in Malaysia.
Captain Joe said the Vada 2 says made in Malaysia.
Good, it won't get banned then. I'm just joking.
Well, but according
Just
to a
joking,
lot of
kid.
them, it's not going to happen. But like Tom pointed out, there's a lot of this xenophobia going on with China, and then we had this stuff go on today where Putin went to visit the little guy. So we don't know what's going to happen. Is that going to piss China off? Is that going to create more issues? Who knows?
Who's the little guy?
Kim
Kim.
something or another. Kim,
Yeah, I don't
Jong
want to.
Soo. Sorry,
Oh,
my
North
Mandarin.
Korea.
Kim Jong Il, is that what it is? I think.
Kim Jong Un.
Good, the man's name is Stefanik.
we
She's a real shield. She's a real shield.
should get her. We should get her on the show.
You've told me that before, and I've told you go right ahead and send that invitation, and we'll open our arms and open our hearts.
Roll the red carpet out.
But she cannot touch our drones.
It says designed by DJI out of DJI technology from Shenzhen, China, but it does not have a made in. But they were designed.
That's something I think that Tom had pointed out to everybody else has pointed out about the supply chain issues. Remember way back when we referred to a particular part of California as Silicon Valley.
Oh yes,
That was where all our technology birthed from.
Yes.
Everything came out of there. And
Oh,
where
yeah.
did you, Randy, where did you say that was made?
It says made in Malaysia.
Oh, well, it does.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
But you said, but originally you said designed by DJI, and you said in the Shin whatever. Say that again.
Designed by DJI from Shenzhen, China.
Right, and that Shenzhen, China is their Silicon Valley. They didn't stop their progression. They didn't stop pumping all their money into it. We privatized everything and fell behind. I mean, or we didn't figure out a way to maintain subsidies to keep that going. I don't know what to tell you. But the fact that they're making us pay to catch up is ridiculous. Because something else that Randall said last night. He said, hey, they've realized that people will pay higher prices. And I'm like, nah, we're all pretty much at our fucking limits, man. There ain't nobody gonna be paying for any more $2,000 more expensive drones.
No.
You can hang that shit up to dry because it's not gonna happen. We're all maxed out now. You're not gonna throw a $4,500 drone at us and see us all here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night talking about how fantastic it is because all of us would be divorced motherfuckers.
Well, look at all the pushback the Mavic 3 got at $21.99.
UFOs. That's what I'm going to guess. Let's declassify UFOs. That way, because aliens have all the best drone technology.
They do.
They do. We know.
And it's
Could
not
you
made in
imagine-
Chi- and it's not made in China.
Hell no,
Right.
it's not. It's
Could
made
you
on
imagine
Uranus.
an anti-gravity GPS drone?
Yeah, something like this big, man. It just flies over here, and it gets 8K fucking everything.
You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't need a flight time because you could just teleport from location to location.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, would that need remote ID, Randy?
No, even better, it can time travel to never miss a shot.
I'm sure they would require it, Ron.
Yeah, that Tom brings up a good point. And I know we talked to Vic Boss. I didn't get the question all the way out of my mouth about will we be able to U.S. be able to build a compatible drone in 5 years? He didn't let me get the question out. No, and no. How about this panel? If we start today, can we build a U.S. made we'll say DJI killer in 5 years?
Only if DJI takes a time out.
Well, that's what
I said.
DJI's
DJI's
right?
not going to sit on the sidelines and wait unless we choke them out and force them to give up the technology, which is shitty. It's trying to say that we're too damn lazy to get it ourselves, so we want to take your tech. And I'm just like, I don't know what to say. Maybe they are spying on stuff. Then fine, just show me what they're spying on. Show me how horrible it is, and I will give you my drone. I won't happily give you my drone, but I will give you my drone.
The Avata 2 says made in Malaysia, but the Air 3 says made in China.
Okay.
So I can fly my Avata 2, but not the Air
Well,
3.
that's about the time that all that shit started.
I know, yeah. That's about 8 months between that. So in that time, DJI
That's
winds
about
up
when
and,
that's when
you know,
all
made in
that shit
Malaysia
started,
pictures
man.
about.
So,
Next drone will have a Made in USA sticker on the box.
Yeah. I
And
wouldn't
now
doubt it.
let's see, and not.
That's what I'm gonna do, Randy. I'm just gonna get a bunch of little Made on USA stickers and stick them all over my DJI drones.
Right.
I don't.
There you go.
You need to send that to the FCC.
Yeah, for approval.
At least if DJI has been saving all the photos to the servers. Yeah, yeah, but well, you need to wait a minute though. You all need to understand something. There's a reason I can only fly 200 feet in the air.
You're
It's
in
not-
you're low altitude zone. Or,
That's not the only reason.
Your eyes.
Nope, nope. If y'all want to get a chance, go look up Everett Naval Station,
right.
and they ain't ships.
Yep.
It's
So
a
do you
sub
gotta get-
base. It's
you
a
gotta get
sub
clearance
base. It's a
To
sub
fly in your
base.
backyard.
Yeah, I have to get clearance to fly in my backyard. It's a sub base.
So Bill may actually be getting some stuff from the Chinese military.
Kind of funny that John said that, but I'm like,
So hold on.
I
Bill.
don't get up high enough to where you could see it. I don't
They
get up high
get-
enough where you can see it.
Okay, so I was gonna say, if there's no aircraft coming and going, what is there a need for a height restriction for a
'Cause
submarine?
I'm within 5 miles
Yeah.
of an international airport too.
Okay.
Yeah, Randy, the Chinese are probably can't wait for you to post a new Northeast River video that they can get all that data
Yeah.
off of.
But
Yeah,
it's kind
right.
of funny that John said that. I was like, well,
You can tell DJI the Avondale, what is it? The proving grounds have been closed for years.
Yeah, they might want to get a count of the crab population from the sky.
oh no, it's my fault, man. That's what it is. If that's what it is, we might actually be able to get Stefanik on because I'm going to be the one she blames. It's not going to be Mikey at all. It's going to be me.
Well, you notice for all the reasons people think DJI is going to get, I hate to use the word ban. No, now nobody's attributed to rogue drone pilots anymore. Used to be the rogue drone pilots.
That was the reason I was.
Now there's no more talk about rogue
Well,
drone
everybody
pilots.
says that we are capable of policing ourselves. I'm like, yeah, okay. I've seen some pilots after they've had 1 or 2 or 6 cases of beer. I'm gonna fly. No, dude, you can't. Don't. No, fly. Oh, that was my finger.
Ron,
Quick, find my finger. Find my finger.
Before you came in, Ron, we were talking about the Avata 2 and
Yeah.
how we're liking it. How are you liking the Avata 2? And are you having any issues with the connection or the video feed?
Absolutely not. And I'll have a video come out soon where I flew the Avata 1, Avata 2 in the same exact location, same paths. So I'm going to have a video comparison, A/B, under the same conditions, and you're going to be stunned by the results of this. Well, not really, not really, but you're going to be stunned how different the video quality on those 2 drones are at the same settings, under the same lighting conditions.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Did you get the remote 3, Ron?
I did not. Not yet. I had the
You're still
second
using
one.
the
I was hoping
controller?
it would be made compatible, but it looks like it's not going to be unless you change goggles and everything out. And I'm not going to do that. So it may be a purchase down the road someplace. But I'm one of those people. At first, I didn't like the little motion stick and whatever, but now I've got to love the motion stick.
I don't understand how they made the motion 3 is half price because it runs on Bluetooth and not RF signal or whatnot.
Oh, really?
But the FPV RC3 is still $200.
Exactly.
It makes
Here's
no
your
sense.
Here's your $5, Ron.
America's already compromised my data on more than one occasion. Yeah, how about Facebook and all those guys, whatever? But I guess the difference between Facebook compromising your data is they're not sending it over to the Chinese military.
Well, this is what kills me, like you brought up earlier, Ron. You get this big long letter talking about how all your information, your health records, and every ounce of your fiber of being and existence is now on the dark web. Here's your $5 check.
Yes.
We're sorry it happened.
Yes. So if the Chinese really want that data, just go get it off the dark web or whatever. They don't have to go to all the trouble getting it from the drone flyers.
What he was saying over here
Mm,
is he's
that's
talking
right.
about, like everybody talks about, I'm going to buy Altel because it doesn't geofence me.
Yes.
So what he's saying is definitively mark stuff that they're crying about or they're whining about that could potentially be photographed or have a video on them,
Yes.
that they need to lock them down and say, look, this is a no-go. You
See,
cannot have any access to that. Go ahead.
my opinion is, if it's truly legitimately security concern regarding the data, why can't they set forth like some guidelines that they have to meet in order to make that not an issue, instead of just banning them outright and putting everybody in a tight spot that's using it for their business? Why not just make up a set of guidelines that they have to comply with? And
Exactly, Randy. Why not just require us all to fly in low data mode?
right, that's one of the reasons it makes me think that it's not about the data.
Okay, I want to pause things for just a split second because somebody was trying to get my attention and I was over animated as I
Okay.
always get. Gary's got to turn into a pumpkin, so we're
Oh.
gonna have to kiss him on the cheek and send him to bed.
Hey,
It's getting late in the East Coast.
do you want me to tell you the story about the remote and Best Buy?
Yes, Gary. Go ahead. You're on your way out.
And also, Gary's still thinking about 107, so we need to convince him to get 107
Okay.
because he's
Go
going to
ahead,
be.
Gary.
So I knew that I wanted to get the Remote 3 for the Avata 2. I knew I had to have it. There's no way, because this thing, Ron, if yours ever breaks, I got a free one for you, buddy.
Yeah.
I can't use it. So I ordered it from Best Buy, and it was going to get it delivered. I paid $20 to get it delivered, like on a Monday.
Now we know why they all got discounted.
Well, I went when it got here. I opened it up, and I haven't been paying attention to DJI stuff, so I didn't know the difference between the Remote 2 and the Remote 3. But this came in a Remote 3 box. It was all wrapped up. I took it out. And when I hit the power button, it was fully charged, which was a red flag for me. Because usually, they're like they have like one. You have to charge one more bar or something like
half
that.
charge or less. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I was sitting here trying to bind it, and I was going through everything, and I was like, man, what is going on? I can't get it. This thing just like is beeping. It's going crazy. I couldn't figure it out. Well, then when I first opened it and I put the sticks on, I pulled the sticks out, and there was like a little brown spot on it. And I was like, licking my finger going like that, trying to get it off, and it wouldn't come off. So I start looking at it, and the first sign, if I would have been paying more attention and like watching more videos, it had the flip up antenna. And if I would have seen that,
yeah.
Well, I flipped it over, and on the back, it looked like there was like where a sticker was, like sticker residue. And so I called Best Buy, and I'm like, hey, I think you guys sent me
Somebody
something.
switched it
Yeah. So
Somebody
they switched it out and
returned it and got their money back.
Yeah.
yeah. But they took care of it and finally sent me the right one, and I got it bound and everything.
They can
But
track
he
that
was
and find out
he
who did
was
it.
livid for like 3 days. He was livid, man.
I'm
He
sure.
was so pissed off, man.
'Cause I'm
You're
like,
not gonna fucking believe what they did.
I'm like, I have this drone, and I'm like, I want to fly it. I'm ready to do it, and like, I went in the backyard and I tried this, and it just, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I couldn't do it.
I had trouble at first with the motion too, so I feel your pain, Gary.
Yeah, I just, I couldn't do it. So
Yeah,
I
I
was livid, man. I was like, this can't be happening to me. Then I had to reorder it, and they were like, because I paid for early, like, to get it a day early. They said, well, we'll go ahead and take care of that for you and refund that money. I was like, cool. It was supposed to deliver on a Tuesday. Well, whoever, I think it was FedEx, was delivering it, and it like just stayed like in one spot. I can't remember where it was. It was coming from near Atlanta, so I had to wait another day to get it. Even though they told me it was supposed to be here on like a Tuesday, I had to wait till a Wednesday. So
Murphy's Law.
Well,
Yeah.
that's Murphy's drone law. Whenever there's a drone or a drone part, those packages move slower than any other packages out there. Like, Gary, if you'd have ordered like garbage bags or something, they would have came a day early. Something always comes on time or early, but something like the drone that you want, that's the slowest shipping item there is.
Yeah, before Gary takes off, he was asking me if he went ahead and got his 107, what drone would be the best drone to value wise to start into the business with it, and I told him the Air 3. To me, I would say get an Air 2S, but it's an older drone, it's an older platform. The Air 3 is a level platform, flies great, flies even better than the Mavic 3 Pro from what I've heard.
It does.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I've got the
Fly-wise, it's the best DJI camera drone.
yeah, I've got the Mini 3 Pro. I just like I was like, I don't know. I think that's not really like, something. I was like, I know who I can ask.
Yeah.
Bill.
The Air 3 with that.
The Air 3
with
is a step up as far as handle of wind. It's much faster, handles the wind much better, ascends and descends much better. It's just a much better flying drone than any mini drone.
All newer tech, as people say, the pipeline's much better.
Yep, and that 3 times tele lens is excellent.
Yeah.
It also has the same sensor that you have on. Isn't 1/1/3 on the Avata too?
Yeah, on both. On the same Nevada, but it's the same size sensor on both lenses, the wide and the tele. So the video looks the same from each lens, unlike the Mavic.
Yeah,
Pro,
so you don't have to match
where
them in post.
it looks like you're shooting on 2 different drones because the cameras don't match.
Yeah, so they match up in post, so that's another benefit too.
Yeah.
So the zoom lens as well. So
And
yeah, the
Gary,
Air
that
3,
Air 3 now, right now, the base kit's on sale for $879 at either DJI or Amazon. So that's like a tremendous deal in that drone. Now, the downside of this is rumors of an Air 4 coming by the end of the summer. Strictly rumors. That's not confirmed in any way, but that is a rumor that's out there.
Yeah, they're saying
your
next
money,
month.
Get the Air 3.
Yeah, just get the Air 3. Air 3 is a good drone.
And a good
Or
price.
you can buy the Air 3S.
Well, that got superseded by the Air 4.
I don't know. I think we're gonna get an Air 3S. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll get both, Bill.
No, we'll get an Air 3. Well, no, it'll be. Maybe that's a way that they can still slip it in. We'll get an Air 3S.
You said
what if it like we were talking about? We were talking about DJI finding loopholes. Could they make an Air 3S, which is technically an upgrade, but because it's the same model that's already been approved?
Maybe it's broadcasting the same radio waves, so it doesn't need another FCC approval?
That's what I'm wondering.
So every drone from now on will just be an Air 3 something or another.
Or Mavic 3.
Something or other.
Or Inspire 3. Yeah, it could be.
Or something or other, yeah.
No, this is what it'll be.
It's going to be.
It's gonna be the Air 3A, the Air 3B, the Air 3C.
It's gonna be the Air 3 FU.
All right, you gotta go get ready. And,
yeah,
that's your talking story.
He needs hanging out.
He needs to get some rest to build them or repair those airplanes tomorrow.
Hey, Braden now works with me at Heiko.
Hell yeah, that's cool as shit, man.
He's a little trainee.
That's cool as shit. That's cool. I'm glad for you.
We'll see you guys.
We'll see you. We'll have you back on. You know we will.
Yeah, come on back.
All right.
Have a good one. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that was cool. Yeah, it's getting that way. We got about 20 more minutes. I want to wind it up right at 7 o'clock because we're gonna go spin dance tonight.
Hey, Bill, do you have just a second or two for me to say something kind of not about the drone ban?
You got plenty to talk. Go right. Well, we got 20 minutes.
You're friends with Lance Cadena, right?
Yes.
Well, Lance has recently purchased an Air 2S, and do I have it handy here? Yeah, I don't have it handy here. The Insta360 Spear, which is a 360 camera that fit on the Air 2 and Air 2S body, and he started posting these like he just let them in 360 so you could spin it around with your finger on your phone or tablets or mouse on thing. So I actually had all that equipment. So now I'm getting into the same thing. I'm getting that thing back up, and I'm going to start posting these 360 videos where you just spin it around. And it's not going to be any great fun. You're just going to hover over some place that's really interesting and shoot a little, and let the thing roll, and people could just like spin it around and see, what they want to see. Lance has done a couple of them down at the waterside in Seattle. He's got like kind of like a pirate looking boat in one of them or whatever. Yeah. So,
and you can do that on the video. the video run?
Yeah, because somebody complained now. Well, you can't take pictures with him because the put the ES360 app to the Spear, you can only be 33 feet away. So it's not
Right.
kind of not good for pictures. But I told anybody, well, why would you take pictures with that anyways? That the Spear photo feature on the Air 2S works
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
You can take a 360 photo right on the drone. You don't need anything, so only take video with it. Yeah, what you do is you start the 360 app up, put your settings in however you want it, hit the start button or whatever, because you're going to lose connection to the app as soon as you get more than 33 video. But once you start the video playing, you don't really need a connection anymore. You've already dialed in your settings. And it just, of course, it just keeps playing until you bring the drone down or whatever. But you can also shoot video with the drone's camera too. So you're kind of getting,
Right.
even if you never do anything with the 360 video, you still get all your drone video.
And when you upload that, it uploads it in the 360 format where you
Yeah,
can.
well, if you use the 360, you have an app for the phone or the computer, and if you don't, you can if you don't do anything with it, it'll just upload the 360 video, and Facebook will play it as a 360 video, and I believe
That's
YouTube
pretty cool.
will play the 360 video without you doing anything special. It's built right into their software. The other platforms, you have to do something crazy,
Okay.
but yeah. So it just goes up as 360 video. And I mean, it's again, if you're over a farmer's field, it's not very interesting. But if you go someplace where there's a lot to see, it's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Bill, we
it
hope you
sounds
feel
cool.
better. Bill's back's hurting him really
Oh,
bad. And he's in
Bill, sorry to
hospital.
hear that.
Yes, we
Yeah,
hope you feel better,
pray for
friend.
Bill's back.
We hope
Backs
they
are
figure out
nothing
what's wrong and
with.
get you patched up.
Yeah, I agree. Back pain's no joke.
Well, yeah, I keep pushing out on. They want to do neck surgery and back surgery on me, and I keep driving by the doctor's office but not stopping.
Well, okay, one last note before I end the subject. Go over to Lance Cadina's channel and watch a couple of these 360 videos he's posted recently. They're kind of fun to look at.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that
And
out.
it doesn't require much work on your part to do this. Now, what requires work, if you want to do what they call you want to edit it down. What's the buzzword they use when you want to edit down, but you only want to show a certain part of the video?
Crop it.
You have to put all these points in. That's a lot of work. But just posting the videos of 360, that's no work at all.
Are you talking about adding keyframes and stuff?
Yeah. Like if you want to, well, I forget the word when you edit the 360 video that you only see a certain part of it. That's work. But just post it as a real 360, that's no work at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lazy man's way of posting. But it's kind of cool. Like lots of times, whenever I use that Spear pan photo mode on the Fly app or whatever, and I post a video of that of my local town in a popular area, those pictures get a whole bunch of likes. People
Yeah.
that know your area, they love seeing that going around 360 if it's a popular area.
That's one of my favorite
here's-
features.
Yeah.
Warren wants you to do a 360
Yeah.
sphere of Lucy.
I have photos of that, and hopefully I have a good picture soon with the Spear. But I mean video. But I have a whole bunch of pictures where you can move it all
Yeah.
around.
I
Tell 'em
like
to give
doing
you
the
the good
sphere.
drugs.
I like doing the sphere down low to the ground in like a unique area. You
Yeah,
can spin around.
that's the real interesting feature that most people forget to use.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's my tip of the day. If you have an if you don't have an Insta360 Spear, I don't think they're sold anymore. I don't think it's a popular product. It's discontinued, but you can go on eBay or something and probably pick one up for not a whole lot of money. That's what Lance did. Lance bought an Air 2S and a Spear. I don't know if he bought them the same person, but he bought it all used or whatever. And
That's the only way you can get a sphere now.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
used.
Yeah, and,
I might
and,
have to look
and,
into that.
and the Air 2S is no longer sold new on DJI's website.
But you can
Oh,
get
you got
mount.
refurb?
Well, it's pitched in the refurb store, but it's not often in stock in the refurb.
Oh, wow.
You can
Catch
get
it on a
mount
good
for
day.
for the Air
Or-
3 and other drones, like a GoPro mount, and have an attachment for that. I'm pretty sure. I think I seen a guy with an Air 3 that had one of those on it.
The only thing the thing that's made me sad, I flew my Air 2S about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm afraid I got a bearing going bad in one of the motors because it's got that, that weird ring to it.
Yep.
That when you can
Yeah.
hear it start running, I'm like, oh, no,
Oh,
baby,
no.
no.
My Avata 2 does that.
I'm just hoping that she's okay, but
Yeah.
she never had that ring to her motor before.
Wow.
So I'm
Yeah.
afraid she's going to lock up on me in the sky. But it'd be cool if, if it crashes, it crashes. I just got to find
I mean,
it.
I've flown my air test the last couple of days, even with that darn Insta 360 thing on it, whatever, and it's still feeling fine. I mean, that they had the spear so well that it doesn't block the GPS at all. But what I do is just to make sure I turn the drone on, get the 20 some satellites it's going to get, then turn the drone off, put the spear on, and then turn it back on, and you almost never have a problem with satellites if you do it that way.
That's a good idea.
And of course, it doesn't block any of the sensors. So now the big downside is the drone's a lot noisier with that
Yeah.
thing on. It's not as
Yeah.
noisy as the Avata 1, but it's noisier than any of your other drones.
Yeah, the DJI FPV drone with an action camera on top, it was screaming.
Yeah, that would probably outdo this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a visitor.
Bill, you're muted.
Yeah, Bill, you're muted.
I'm not muted, am I?
Not
Maybe he
anymore.
just stuttered.
Huh? No. See,
Oh, this is the way from what's that show where they always say this is the way? The little Yoda show.
can you hear me now?
I can
Yeah,
hear
you're
you
good.
now. He sounds like the cell phone guy that used to say, "Can you hear me now?"
Well, no. A minute ago, you said you couldn't hear me because I was playing. I had it muted. The
Oh,
the
okay.
video is muted. I mean, I can
Okay.
turn it on. Hang on.
Did we have a licensed music with it, Bill?
No. It's legit. It's legit. Yeah, it's just I made it with CapCut. I was
Wow.
just
Yeah.
playing
Bill,
around.
was that you on lead guitar?
I like the
Yeah.
music. Yeah, I like the music.
Yeah, I got it from Epidemic.
Epidemic Sound.
Yeah.
This show is sponsored by Epidemic Sound, folks,
I wish. Call me up, Epidemic or DJI
or CapCut.
or DJI if you need a spokesperson to absolutely go batshit crazy for you on the floor, the congressional floor. Just call me up and pay for me to go and put me in a really nice hotel and let me bring lots of friends.
We may get banned if you do that, Bill.
No, I'll bring lots of friends.
Tell DJI Bill's going to go January 6th on their ass.
Oh,
Link in the description. You're right, Warren.
Link in the description.
Well, I tell you what, ever since last Wednesday, I've been flying drones nonstop, Randy.
I want something else.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it now and get it out of the way early.
Yes.
My streaming pick. If you have Apple TV,
Oh, okay.
you need to watch Presumed Innocent.
Yes.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
But I will not watch until it's all there because I want to binge it.
Yep.
Well, it's a remake
Of a Harrison Ford movie from the 90s, right?
with Bonnie Bedelia. So if you've seen that movie,
Well,
You-
no spoilers now. Don't
you
no
already
spoilers.
know.
If I saw that movie, I have forgotten it. But it's based on a very popular book, also.
Well,
Lots
the
of
thing
people
about
read
it
the book.
was I wasn't paying attention, and then the name kept ringing a bell. Carolyn Palamas, and I was like,
Who's
"Why does
that?
that sound familiar? Why does that sound familiar?" And then I started seeing Harrison Ford's face, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" And so I started putting it back together,
Okay.
And then I looked at my wife, and I was like, "Ah!" And she's like, "Why do you always have to know ahead of time?" And I was like, "It wasn't that. I wasn't trying to do that, baby. It was like I just remembered, and I thought it was really cool that I remembered."
Yeah, Presumed this is already the number one thing on Apple TV Plus, or whatever they call it.
But like everybody's telling you guys, and I'm probably going to end a little bit early because I want to go ahead and get out of here.
Okay, no problem.
Is fly your DJI till the props fall off.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I agree.
Fly as many times as you can get that battery charged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just fly the hell out of it and use your pocket threes. Use all of that stuff, man. Use your pocket threes. Use your actions. Use all of those things. And hopefully hopefully these people are right. And when they told us before they'll never ban DJI, and they were wrong. And now when they're telling us the FCC will never revoke those licenses, hopefully they're right this time. But I'm not
But
putting
they can't
my
be
eggs
wrong
in all
about
that.
everything, can they, Bill?
Yeah, they very well could be, because like Tom pointed out earlier, there's a major xenophobia when it comes to China for some strange reason in that congressional chamber. I
Because
don't
of
know what
COVID,
it,
I think COVID was the
Yeah, COVID didn't help.
yeah.
well, I don't know what it was, because Caleb's saying that all these other pies paid these senators to take drones out of the sky. Well, and I don't understand how that has to do with chips and stuff.
Well, maybe we should run around down there with bags full of money and sway some people's minds.
If I was running, I wouldn't be running around down there with bags full of money. I'd be buying DJI drones and letting all my friends fly.
Hey, if they want bags full of pennies, I'm in.
Yeah. How about some gold? Throw some gold bricks around down there. That's a,
I wish
that's a
they
New
would just
Jersey,
pull
that's a
that
New
one
Jersey
thing.
joke.
I would love to see them just pull the CCP Drones Act right out of there. Just go, whoosh, this is garbage, we're not going to use it. This is garbage, we're not going to use it. This is garbage, no. Okay, now you can have it back.
Well, hopefully there's some former first responders in the Senate that are leaning on them a little bit.
Supposedly they're telling them that they're
more like former crooks than is that.
well. The whole point is all these. If you go to that link that's, pinned in the chat, they tell you that all the first responders are told the government, you're wrong. We don't want you to do this. And I'm like, wait a minute. These are the people you're trying to say you're doing this for, and they're saying, don't do it. And you're still not listening. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Well, Joe and DJ had that story the other day where they were trying to make the point to these people where people are gonna die because of this bill or whatever. There's gonna be somebody that needs their life saved by a capable drone, and that's not gonna be in play now once all this stuff passes through. So you're gonna actually cause people to die by having inferior equipment coming to rescue them.
Yep.
Or the whole point is, or not having any equipment at all in the air to locate them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right.
Or something donated that's going to work half-ass, and they're still not going to be able to find
Or
anybody.
while they're waiting to be rescued, the first responders going to be waiting to get connection.
Oh, wow. Hey, Chris, good to see you, buddy. We're getting ready to hop off. I'm glad you came in.
Early night tonight, folks.
Yeah, because I'm getting ready to take my daughter to spend some time with her friends. Let's see. Yeah, 6,000 first responders organizations already voiced their opposition. 90% public safety drones programs rely on DJI gear. See? That's that simple.
Yeah, one time we had Tom on our show, and he was talking about, even firemen even setting drones into burning buildings to assess how safe it was for, actual firemen to go in. So again, saving lives again.
The sad thing is I know that everybody's getting burned out on this subject.
Yeah.
But with each passing week, it seems like another dagger has been thrown right into the heart of our hobby. So it seems like there's not a choice that it's going to be brought up. Maybe, I'm hoping, I would love somebody come up with a great subject that we could talk about drones and editing and photos, and I would love to think of something to do next week. Since we got, let's do something strange next week. Everybody that's still watching, we got 22 people watching, we got 3 people here. Everybody take a picture with your drone this week. I don't care if you edit it. I don't care if it's raw. I don't care whatever. And then if you don't mind, I will set a page in Coast to Coast Drones, and we probably won't get a picture from me and Ron and Randy.
Can it be a 360 photo?
I don't care. It can be any of that. But if you will, once I post it and pin it, please post your photos there, and we'll share them next week. And it can be. I don't care. Okay, how about this? We'll say a 30-second video or a photograph. Either one, I don't care. Yeah. So since you have to do if you do a sphere, it has to be a video, right, Ron?
Well, we wouldn't get much entry except for me and Lance.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is something close enough you know, so it would be easy enough for everybody to send in. Some people may want to send in a video instead of a picture. Some people, you know, they don't use their drone to take pictures; they use it to take video.
Right,
Me
right.
personally, I tend to take more pictures than I do videos.
I encourage anybody's going to send a picture. Take a spear pano with your DJI drone. If you have a modern DJI.
Oh yeah,
drone,
that would be cool
take a spear
too. Yeah.
pano.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can show it though. Can I?
Yeah, that might. Well, you
Oh,
could.
I would have to
that's
show
not
it through
true.
whatever program they had stored
Yeah.
it on. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
It'll
scratch
be one
out
of them
and however
trial and
they do
error
that.
things. Or I'm
Sure.
just I'm trying to think of some subject other than what we've been dwelling on. So
Of
if
course,
we come
you'll
up
say
with
that,
something
then
else,
next week there should be some major news or whatever.
yeah, and it'll squash everything. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I want to say thank you for you all being here tonight, and thank you for everybody that's still here. I appreciate it. Love every one of you. And I know I'm cutting it about 5 minutes short, but we'll see you all next week. Randy, do you have anything coming up you want to share?
Not currently, but just if you set up that page, send me the link and I'll share it out.
All right, Ron.
Again, I mentioned once I'm working on that Avada 1 and Avada 2 video comparison. That'll be out in a couple days or whatever. So, you're going to be shocked the difference between two cameras. And I want to thank everybody who's still supporting, DJI and helping counter this bill and whatever. Thanks for all your support, guys. And hang in there. Don't get discouraged. Like we said already, keep flying your DJI drones until they take them out of our hands.
Actually,
agree.
we're preempting program this week. MASH will be following our program tonight. Live
Good night,
long
everyone.
and
And
prosper.
prosper.
We will see you